Hello and good morning to you. It's Friday the 3rd of May and a story that came out yesterday. I saw it on Facebook and various other social media. You may remember we had this video, came out a little while ago. I made that about the universal credit transfers from other legacy benefits and how a couple of men took the government to court because they lost their severe disablement premium, SDP. And they obviously were forcibly transferred onto UC, and they were financially worse off and they couldn't afford to pay for their care. So, and the good thing is that they won the case. They obviously were put back onto a legacy benefit and the law was changed. So this article was out in the Mirror online, and we can take a little look at that. So this article, DWP was accused of holding 10,000 disabled people to ransom over the universal credit, SDP. They've been waiting months for this back payment. Tory ministers have been accused of holding 10,000 people to ransom by failing to pay out over a UC blunder. MPs warned severely disabled claimants are still in the lurch months after they were forced onto the UC benefit. In January of this year, the government stopped people on SDP premiums from joining UC, amidst fears that they were being left £200 or more worse off. Yet the Department for Work and Pensions has not coughed up the back pay for more than 10,000 people who moved over, who are still waiting for their SDP payments to be made. Instead, the back pay has been wrapped up in a wider law that still hasn't been passed because MPs are worried about it. This is the man that was answering questions, and he was put on the spot by the select committee.
We are concerned about the 10,000 people who need some sort of financial protection. I mean, at the moment, we've got landlords trying to cover their rent for them.
So Labour MP Ruth George, who was heading the committee there, said you're basically holding 10,000 disabled people to ransom to try and force the House to agree to your regulations overall.
Is it fair that you're basically holding 10,000 disabled people to ransom to try and force the House to agree to your regulations overall on managed migration, which will affect millions of people?
Well,
it sounds very much like you're trying to blackmail
I'm
members
sorry,
of this House.
Well, I'm very sorry. That is certainly not my intention. That is not the Secretary of State's intention, and that's not this Department's intention. And I'm very sorry that you feel that is something that we're trying to do. That is not.
In June 2018, the High Court ruled the DWP unlawfully discriminated against two people who saw their payments drastically reduced. But days before the judgment, the DWP agreed to stop future claimants moving over if they were receiving SDP. And then members said that they would give back payments to 4,000 who had moved over already, but the block on SDP claimants moving to UC only took effect on January the 16th, which is more than 6 months later. So that means extra claimants were moved to universal credit before the cut-off date. And today, Employment Minister said the number of former SDP claimants on UC is now just over 10,000. That suggests a rise of 6,000 in 6 months. Now, hopefully, those people will get a lump sum to cover the cash that they missed out on, and obviously ongoing monthly payments. The back payments are a part of a much wider law that is being used to enact the next phase of universal credit transfer, the managed migration of 3 million people. It was pushed back to the summer of 2020. People were being forced to food banks. They have absolutely no end in sight as to when the protection might come through. So you can see that the saga is never easy, and of course this will go on and on and on indefinitely until somebody says stop and let's get it sorted. But unfortunately the Tories are not going to do that. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It is, of course, today, Friday. Later on, hopefully, we'll have a live stream. So please join me for that. We can have a little chat. So thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.